modern stump removal has evolved into a high-efficiency processing factory, where raw tree remnants are transformed into usable materials through cutting-edge technology. Machines like the RT400 mulcher and Vermeer BC1000XL chipper operate with industrial precision, reducing stumps to mulch and biomass in minutes. According to Forest Research UK, stump grinding minimizes soil disturbance compared to full uprooting, while studies in Wire's Energy and Environment highlight how stump-derived biomass could contribute to renewable energy, but requires sustainable management. Unlike manual removal, which is slow and labor-intensive, today's advanced excavators and chippers function as integrated processing factories,
it's going all right,
optimizing land clearing for agriculture, construction, and forestry while reducing waste and improving efficiency. Modern stump grinding machines operate like a processing factory, transforming stubborn roots into fine mulch with remarkable efficiency. The Woodland Mills WG24 PTO stump grinder, with its 24-inch grinding wheel and 34 tungsten carbide teeth, exemplifies precision. While the Vermeer BC1000XL shreds wood at an industrial scale. Heavy-duty machines like the CBI SS20 and RT400 operate as high-powered processing factories, rapidly converting land waste into usable material. Even homemade stump grinders, built from pressure washer engines and custom parts, demonstrate ingenuity in land management. According to Forest Research UK, efficient stump removal reduces soil disruption and promotes sustainable biomass use. With these advancements, stump removal is no longer just land clearing, it's a streamlined production process. Spectacular tree stump removal techniques combine power, precision, and sometimes sheer ingenuity. Industrial-grade machines like the RT400 forestry grinder and Vermeer BC1000XL shred massive stumps into fine mulch within seconds, turning land clearing into an efficient processing factory. The CBI SS20 stump shear, designed for 5500 LB excavators, doesn't just remove stumps, it splits, shreds, and stacks them seamlessly. More unconventional methods include controlled burning with thermite, a technique that rapidly oxidizes stumps into ash, and DIY stump pullers that leverage mechanical advantage for effortless removal. According to Forest Research UK, advanced techniques minimize soil disruption and promote sustainable biomass use. Whether through brute force or innovative engineering, these methods redefine how land is reclaimed and restored. Extreme stump removal techniques turn land clearing into a high-powered processing factory, balancing efficiency with environmental responsibility. Machines like the CAT 305E2 and Oliver 1650 tractor use force and leverage to uproot stumps. While thermite burning and controlled diesel fires accelerate decomposition but pose ecological risks. The debate between speed and sustainability is crucial. Fuel-powered grinders work fast but emit carbon, whereas eco-friendly alternatives like mulch conversion improve soil health. Advanced waste management solutions, such as the Gen Z crusher, transform stumps into reusable biomass, minimizing landfill waste. According to Forest Research UK and Wires Energy and Environment, responsible land clearing integrates innovative machinery with sustainable practices to reduce environmental impact while maintaining high efficiency. The future of land clearing is evolving into an autonomous processing factory, where AI-powered machines optimize efficiency while reducing environmental impact. Advanced systems like the CAT 568 forest machine, featuring real-time terrain scanning and automated cutting algorithms, will revolutionize forestry operations. Electric-powered mulchers such as the EcoBrush 5000 aim to replace diesel engines, significantly cutting emissions. According to Forest Research UK, AI-driven excavators improve precision, reducing soil disruption and preserving biodiversity. Machines like the Gen Z crusher with its 120 vast P engine and 400mm drum exemplify the next generation of high-performance land management. As automation advances, smarter, eco-friendly solutions will dominate the industry. Which machine impresses you the most? Let us know in the comments. In recent years, China has faced an alarming increase in the frequency and severity of typhoons, a trend attributed to climate change and rising sea temperatures. For instance, the China Meteorological Administration reported that in 2022, the country experienced 15 tropical cyclones, with 7 making landfall, compared to an average of just 10 cyclones per year over the last 2 decades. Typhoon Typhoon in 2021, for example, brought record-breaking rainfall and winds exceeding 150 km/h, causing extensive flooding in cities like Shanghai and leading to over $1 billion in damages. Furthermore, Super Typhoon Mangkhut, which struck in 2018, was one of the most powerful storms recorded in the region, affecting millions and resulting in substantial agricultural losses, particularly in Guangdong province. As climate models predict an increase in the intensity of such storms, the risk to coastal communities and the agricultural sector is expected to escalate, underscoring the urgent need for robust disaster preparedness and response strategies. Typhoon Bebinca made landfall in Shanghai on September 16th, bringing maximum winds of 151 km, the strongest storm to hit the city since Typhoon Gloria in 1949. Video footage showed the chaos as strong winds left pedestrians struggling to maintain their balance. Uprooted trees, shattered high-rise windows, and ripped roofs from buildings, causing significant disruption in the city of nearly 25 million people. In preparation, the Chinese government activated a level IV, emergency response for Anhui province, and raised it to level I for Shanghai and Zhejiang on September 15th, deploying over 3,000 rescuers and nearly 1,000 sets of rescue equipment. By noon on September 16th, initial reports indicated 1 injury, over 9 uprooted trees, 10,000 power outages, numerous damaged buildings, and extensive flooding in agricultural areas. Hundreds of flights were canceled, train services were suspended, and thousands of residents were evacuated to temporary shelters, highlighting the government's swift response amid the ongoing Mid-Autumn Festival. The economic fallout from Typhoon Bebinka's landfall in Shanghai in mid-September was substantial, despite existing prevention and recovery plans. According to the Shanghai Municipal Bureau of Economy and Informatization, preliminary assessments estimated that the storm caused direct economic losses exceeding 2 billion yuan, approximately $280 million. The agricultural sector suffered particularly severe impacts, with reports indicating over 20,000 hectares of crops were damaged or destroyed, leading to anticipated reductions in local food supply and increased prices. Additionally, the typhoon disrupted supply chains, resulting in a backlog of goods at ports and significant delays in logistics operations. The local tourism sector, already affected by ongoing pandemic restrictions, faced further declines as hundreds of flights were canceled and events were postponed, exacerbating the economic strain on the region. These factors highlight the broader challenges posed by natural disasters in urban areas, especially in the context of China's rapid economic development. The livestock industry in Shanghai and surrounding areas suffered significant losses due to Typhoon Bebinka, with estimated financial losses running into the millions of dollars. According to the Shanghai Agricultural Commission, initial assessments indicate that more than 50,000 livestock units, including pigs, chickens, and cattle, were damaged or severely injured by the storm. The economic impact is estimated to be around 150 million yuan, about $21 million, for livestock farmers alone. Many farms reported that their barns were flooded and their feed supplies were destroyed, leading to increased mortality among vulnerable animals. In addition, disruptions in the supply chain have left farmers struggling to access necessary veterinary care and feed, further exacerbating the damage. These figures illustrate the devastating damage that extreme weather events can cause to local agriculture, threatening both food security and the livelihoods of farmers in the region. The aftermath of Typhoon Bebinka poses significant challenges for infrastructure reconstruction and farm restructuring in Shanghai. Damage to roads, utilities, and transportation networks complicates recovery efforts, as local governments must balance immediate housing needs with long-term recovery plans. Farmers face the dual challenge of restoring lost assets while adapting to changing environmental conditions, often requiring investment in recovery activities. Flooding and post-typhoons impacts compound disease outbreaks on farms, while livestock are weakened by nutritional deficiencies. Financial constraints can hinder rapid action, especially for small-scale farmers. Overall, the impacts of typhoons and extreme weather events are extremely stressful and difficult for Chinese farmers. Does your area regularly face adverse weather conditions? What methods have you applied to improve the results? Share with Trending Farm in the comments section.
Gold continues to hold tremendous economic value, serving as a reliable safe haven asset for investors, particularly in times of financial instability and geopolitical crisis. Over the past few years, the global gold market has experienced notable fluctuations, with its price being highly responsive to economic events such as inflation spikes, interest rate changes, and geopolitical tensions. For instance, during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, gold prices soared past $2,070 per ounce, marking an all-time high as investors flocked to the precious metal for security amidst widespread economic uncertainty. In the years following, the gold market remained volatile, with prices fluctuating between $1,700 and $2,000 per ounce, driven by inflationary pressures and central bank policies. For an in-depth look at how gold's market position compared to other assets, watch Trending Farm's latest farming documentary on the gold industry's economic impact. indexes on the stock exchange, such as the Gold Price Index and the SPDR Gold Shares GLD ETF, have consistently reflected gold's enduring appeal. The demand for gold in financial markets highlights its role not only as a hedge against inflation, but also as a speculative asset. The steady interest in gold futures and derivatives has underscored its sustainable hotness in economic finance. Despite market volatility, gold remains a central asset for investors seeking long-term stability, reinforcing its indispensable role in the global financial ecosystem. Gold mining requires advanced equipment to efficiently extract and process the precious metal from the earth. Open-pit mines use heavy machinery such as excavators, haul trucks, and drill rigs to access gold deposits near the surface, while underground mines rely on equipment like rock drills, loaders, and underground dump trucks to transport ore from deep below. To separate gold from the ore, miners use crushers, ball mills, and conveyors, followed by concentrators and flotation cells. Standards for mining gold are stringent, particularly regarding environmental impact, labor safety, and resource management. Many gold mines must comply with international regulations, such as the International Cyanide Management Code, which ensures the safe use of cyanide in the mining process. Additionally, certifications like ISO 14001 for Environmental Management and Responsible Gold Mining Principles (RGMP) are essential for demonstrating sustainable and ethical mining practices. These certifications not only ensure that gold mining meets global safety and environmental standards, but also enhance the reputation of certified mines in the global market. Raw ore processing is the essential first step in extracting gold from mined materials, as often showcased in a farming documentary focused on industrial practices. Initially, the extracted ore undergoes primary crushing, where large rocks are broken down into smaller pieces using jaw crushers or gyratory crushers. Following this, the secondary crushing phase uses cone crushers or impact crushers to further reduce the size of the ore. Once adequately crushed, the ore is sent to mills, such as ball mills or sag mills, for grinding, where it is ground into a fine powder, allowing the gold to be separated from other minerals, which is often highlighted in farming documentary series exploring modern mining techniques. At this stage, concentration techniques are employed to isolate gold particles. Gravity separation is one of the key methods, using equipment like jigs, spirals, or shaking tables that leverage the difference in specific gravity between gold and other materials. For finer particles, the flotation process is introduced, where chemicals and air bubbles are added to the slurry, causing the gold to attach to the bubbles and float to the surface for collection. These concentration methods, which are often explained in farming documentary episodes, help efficiently extract gold while minimizing waste, setting the stage for further refining processes. Building on the raw ore processing phase, the refining process further purifies gold to achieve an exceptional standard of 99.99% purity. After the initial crushing, grinding, and concentration of ore, the gold concentrate is subjected to smelting, where it is heated to temperatures around 1,200 to 1,500 degrees Celsius in a furnace to remove base metal impurities. The smelted gold, still containing some residual impurities, then undergoes chemical refining to reach its final high purity. In the aqua regia method, gold is dissolved in a mixture of hydrochloric and nitric acids, producing a solution that is then treated to precipitate pure gold crystals. Alternatively, electrolytic refining uses an electrolyte solution and an electric current to deposit pure gold onto a cathode, with the process often conducted at high purity standards in industrial settings. These advanced refining techniques, frequently highlighted in a farming documentary on mining operations, ensure that the gold achieves the desired 99.99% purity, making it suitable for investment and high-precision applications. Once the gold is refined to 99.99% purity, it goes through a casting process to form standard gold bars. The process begins by melting the pure gold in a furnace at around 1,100 degrees Celsius, turning it into a molten liquid. This molten gold is then poured into molds designed to shape the gold into standard bar shapes. According to Trending Farm, through other farming documentaries and real-life experience, a gold bar typically weighs around 400 troy ounces, or about 12.4 kilograms, according to the London Bullion Market Association (LBMA) standard. The molds are made of steel or graphite to withstand high temperatures and ensure precise dimensions. After pouring, the gold bars are allowed to cool slowly in the molds. This cooling process, which can last several hours, is carefully controlled to avoid internal stress and ensure uniform solidification. Once the gold is solidified, the bars are carefully removed from the molds. The solidification process is monitored to ensure that the bars cool evenly and maintain their integrity, achieving a final purity of 99.99%. The result is a high-quality gold bar with a consistent weight and specifications, suitable for investment and industrial applications. Once gold bars have been cast and solidified, they undergo detailed packaging and quality control to ensure adherence to industry standards. Each bar is encased in high-quality, tamper-evident materials such as sealed plastic or vacuum-packed pouches to protect against contamination and damage during transit and storage. In quality control, various tests are conducted to verify the gold bar's purity and specifications. Precision scales measure each bar to ensure it weighs approximately 400 troy ounces. Digital calipers check the dimensions of the bars, which typically measure about 7 inches in length, 3.6 inches in width, and 0.8 inches in thickness. Purity is tested using advanced machinery such as X-ray fluorescence XRF analyzers and traditional fire assay methods. XRF analyzers provide a non-destructive analysis of the gold's composition, while fire assay involves melting a sample and chemically analyzing it for accurate purity results. Each bar is inspected for any visual defects, and specific information including the bar's weight, purity, and a unique serial number is printed on the packaging. For instance, the label might read Gold Bar, 400 troy ounces, 99.99% pure. Serial No. 123456. Tamper evidence seals and holographic labels are also used to enhance security and verify authenticity. This meticulous process ensures that every gold bar meets high standards of quality and is ready for market. We believe that we are not the only ones who want to own at least one of these valuable gold bars. Let us know your interesting comments below this video. And hope everyone does not forget to like and subscribe to the Trending Farm YouTube channel to continue discovering interesting documentaries about agriculture around the world with us.
Thanks to the experience of raising snakes, which has brought my family a large source of income, I was successful in raising my first litter. By 2015, I continued to import more than 300 cobras and 100 buffalo cobras, and the size of the cage was also expanded to more than 32 square feet. The cages are designed to be closed. After more than 10 years of perseverance and effort, I built a snake farm. This is the first model to appear in the locality. Currently, the number of snakes on my farm has grown to thousands, of which cobras account for more than 90% of the total population. I know that the cobra is a venomous snake, while the cobra is not. Therefore, when building a cage for cobras, I need to build a closed cell. This helps the snake reduce stress and grow better. To choose good parent snakes, I started importing snakes when they were 5 months old, then raised them for about 18 months until they entered the reproductive period. During this period, breeding snakes will be different from commercial snake farming because the cost of breeding snakes is less. On average, I will feed snakes 3 to 5 times per week. For commercial snakes, I will feed them once a day, with the main food being chicken waste from hatchery farms. On average, each snake will eat about 0.4 lbs of bait per time. Snakes usually start mating from late March to early April every year, and after 1 month the snakes lay eggs. For each adult cobra, they will lay from 15 to 30 eggs time, while buffalo cobras will lay from 10 to 20 eggs. After the snake lays eggs, collect the eggs and bring them back to incubate by burying them in moist sand. During the incubation process, I take care not to let the sand get too wet or too dry. If the sand is too wet, the snake eggs will crack and be damaged, and if the sand is too dry, the snake eggs will wither and not hatch. The incubation period for cobras lasts from 55 to 60 days, while for buffalo cobras it lasts from 68 to 72 days. After hatching, baby snakes will be collected and placed in foam boxes or tanks to be raised separately. To raise adult cobras safely and effectively, choosing the right food is very important. One of the popular options is to feed the cobra with ducklings. Ducklings provide a nutritious source of protein and can be an important part of a cobra's diet. When feeding ducklings to snakes, pay attention to the size of the duck compared to the size of the snake. Cobras often prefer prey that is not too large, otherwise it will cause difficulty in the snake's digestion process. Besides, Chinese people use digestive enzymes to mix into food to support the cobra's best digestion. Brings great economic benefits to farmers. Are you a cobra breeder? If so, please comment number 1 below the description. If you have any new feeding methods, please share them for everyone's reference. After the breeding process, do you know how many days it takes for the cobra to be harvested? In addition to raising cobras for meat, they are also raised for wine production in China. The time it takes for snakes to be harvested for meat is usually shorter than for snakes to be harvested for soaking in wine. For the following reason, based on size, cobras used to soak wine often need to be larger to be able to hold more alcohol and other medicinal herbs during the soaking process. Snakes for meat can be harvested when they are younger. When enjoying mulled wine, choosing the right type of wine is important. White wine with a high concentration of 40 to 50 degrees is often the ideal choice. This type of wine not only brings a unique flavor but also can best retain the aroma and flavor of the soaked ingredients. During the soaking process, using a suitable soaking vessel also plays an important role. A glass or porcelain vase of the right size for the amount of soaking ingredients will help the soaking process take place most effectively. After fully preparing the ingredients, washing them with diluted salt water is the first step that cannot be skipped. In this way, we can completely remove dirt and potential bacteria on the surface of the cobra. Chinese people will soak live snakes directly into wine bottles, or they will faint and remove their internal organs to help absorb herbs, bringing high value to the snake wine business. Snake wine, a popular specialty in China, not only brings a unique flavor experience but also has many health benefits. Prepared from snakes and herbs, snake wine is said to improve blood circulation, reduce muscle pain, and even relieve stress. The value of a bottle of wine ranges from $22 to $133 bottle. According to China Daily, China's snake wine industry is worth up to billions of dollars each year. Have you ever enjoyed the taste of Chinese specialties? If you have, please leave a like to let us know. Finally, you know that China has famous livestock farms, right? Today I will tell you a second secret, which is the most luxurious snake wine trading center here. Lizhi Street in Guangzhou, China, is not only a famous tourist destination but also a paradise for snake wine lovers around the world. With a reputation for the variety and quality of snake wine, Lizhi Street attracts thousands of tourists every year to visit and shop. The snake wine shops here are not only famous for their variety of snakes and herbs, but are also known for their prestige and exquisite processing skills of artisans. Customers here not only have the opportunity to choose from top snake wine lines, but also receive professional advice on how to choose and use the products. With the combination of tradition and modernity, Lizhi Street has gradually built and consolidated its position as the largest and most prestigious snake wine selling center, not only in Guangzhou but also worldwide. The snake wine trade is not only a profitable industry but also a bridge for trade and cooperation between the Chinese people and countries around the world. The export of snake wine from China has created an environment for multilateral cooperation, enhancing cultural and commercial exchanges between countries. Thanks to the popularity of snake wine, Chinese businesses have had the opportunity to expand export markets and find international partners. At the same time, the import of snake wine also opens the door for the exchange of culture and production experience between China and other countries. Thanks to this cooperation, Chinese people have the opportunity to increase their experience and knowledge of international markets and help promote the country's economic and social development. What about your country? What specialties are most impressive to international friends? Comment number 1, if your family is using Chinese wine. Comment 0 if you like the way the people here raise livestock. Thank you for watching all of our videos. Click the like button and channel subscription button to watch the latest videos about the processing process.